Chelsea Christensen. I'm a first year MTLD here on South Louisiana staff. For those of you that don't know what an MTLD is, an MTLD is a really fancy word for an instructional coach. By instructional coach, I mean basically I'm charged with coaching teachers on how to be the most effective for their classroom. I think as a coach, something I really value is coaching from a place of the personal vision that drives my teachers to doing this work. We actually inherently know that the teachers who lead from that intrinsic personal why, the thing that fires them up for coming to their job every day, are actually the teachers who have the most positive impact on student outcomes. I'm about to actually tell you guys a story about one of our teachers here in South Louisiana. Her name is Elsea. I'd like you all to meet Elsea. I'll zoom it in. Elsie's a first-year Corps member who teaches English 2 at Marksville High School, which is in Avoyles Parish, our farthest out parish. These are Elsie's students so that you guys can contextualize. No, she's not flipping them off. Her hands are going up like this to like point to her students. I thought the same thing too. Anyways, Elsie's story is one that's super unique. Her vision for students, her personal conviction and why for being in this work is because she really wants students to see themselves within an education world. A lot of her students show up every day to school and feel like the classroom is not a place for them, that school is not a place that they can be successful, comfortable, or even safe in. So what Elsea grounded herself in is, how do I make a classroom that is culturally relevant to my students, that's exciting to them, that's joyful for them, and how do I build resiliency in my students so that they can actually see how they fit into this education world, so that they can find a way for them to, whether they choose to go to college or not, see that that is a possibility and an option that at least she sees for them. So when I say that, I also want to say that Elsie's the kind of teacher who leads from that type of vision for herself. She teaches her students how to be resilient in the face of all adversity and how to hold high expectations for yourself regardless of the circumstances that life hands you. Elsie's story actually starts with this summer at Institute when she found out that her father had passed away. Later on in the school year, Elsea also got news that her roommate was going to quit and she had to change houses, she had to move. She also got word that she's now teaching a whole entire new subject. And yet, through all these challenges, Elsea saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Elsea never gave up on her students, and while she was battling a lot of personal extra circumstances, balancing her alternate certification credentialing program and trying to lesson plan for 2 different courses, she found success. Let me tell you what kind of success Elsea found. Halfway through the school year, her students take the end of year course. They're on like semester classes. Her end of course scores, which is how the school measures quantitatively her success as a teacher, were the highest in the entire Avoyles Parish. They were the highest in school history, and 64 of her 72 students passed the EOC. 100% of her honor students passed at the highest level of mastery. Guess what? Elsie's also a first-year, first-semester teacher. I say all that to say Elsie's room was never perfect. Elsea doesn't believe she's the strongest teacher. She struggled hard with her 4th hour block to the point where by the end of the semester she didn't even know what to do with them. And yet, success still came. And yet, even though Elsea still battles the internal struggle of how to manage a classroom, how to build engaging lessons, how to also personally just self-care for herself, she is still pushing on. I'm incredibly proud of Elsea for the work that she's done, and I try and highlight that every day. However, I actually want to read a quote from Mr. Hall, her principal, about Elsea. Mr. Hall says, "Elsea is absolutely phenomenal. She's one of the best English teachers to ever walk through Marksville High, TFA or not. I would be sad to know what would happen if Miss Elsea was not in front of our students. The kind of scores she gave our students were the kind of scores that gives our school hope for a future. I'm so proud of Miss Elsea. I hope she knows how much I appreciate her. I think Elsea's story highlights the true Teach for America story, the story about both struggle and triumph, the story about how you may not be the perfect teacher, and yet you are still doing things impactful for students. Her tenacity to still grow as a teacher, her will to continue to push forward, ask for extra coaching, reach out to me, reach out to her TNTP coaches to figure out what it is to best support her students speaks volumes to who she is and the future of this movement and the leaders that we are all co-creating. As I leave you all and turn it back over to Jared, I actually just have two asks of you all. One, my ask is a little bit general. I hope that you continue to support us in this movement, whatever way you can. My second ask is that I actually call to action. If you choose to continue to support us, either find a way or reach out to us to figure out how you can be most impactful, because here's what I do know. I have a few teachers who have done the Adopt a Core Member program, and time again, what they name as being so important about that program is having community perspective, having someone in the community in their corner to help advocate and push and re-inspire them moving forward. We know that if we want to see one day here in South Louisiana, if Elsea students want to continue to see the results, and we want to have teachers like Elsea still here, it's going to take all of us working together, trying to figure out where our highest impact is. I'm so proud and thankful that y'all gave me this opportunity to share the story of Elsea, and I hope that you all continue to support us. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I realize videos are kind of awkward and not the best way to open doors of communication, but I'm here for you all if you have any questions. And I also want to just say, Elsea and her kids, they're one story. We've got about 70 core members here doing equally amazing things and hundreds of alumni who are continuing to impact this work. And I'm so proud to be a part of that. I hope you are too, and I thank you for everything you do. Bye, y'all. I'm going to turn it back over to Jared.